George Burns and Gracie Allen Show, presented by Carnation Evaporated Milk. Hi, everybody. Our curtain's going up on George and Gracie in just a moment, but we have time here, and I'd like to show you some more home movies that George and Gracie and I took. We took them last weekend when we visited one of the world-famous Carnation milk farms. Boy, what wonderful dairy country that is up in Washington. Here on your screen, you'll get an idea. These are some of the famous Carnation-contented cows. Not a worry in sight here. This is where Carnation carries on its great work of developing better and better dairy herds. And with wonderful results, as you'll see here in just... Here, this is Carnation Homestead Daisy Madcap, world's champion producer of butterfat. Just think of it, Daisy here produced in 1 year more butterfat than 7 average cows. Enough butterfat to make over 1,700 pounds of table butter. So she's a real champion. Now, here's another blue ribbon winner. This is Carnation Tip Top. We had a little trouble coaxing George in for this close shot. Tip Top is the yearling bull that won first prize at Portland, Oregon at the Pacific International Exposition. And he really is a beauty, isn't he? Of course, these are just 2 examples of many prize-winning Carnation cattle. Finer herds and new champions are being developed right along as part of Carnation's dairy progress. Well, all in all, it was a wonderful trip, but the thing that impressed us most of all was the fact that all this splendid work going on at the Carnation farms is directed toward what you get right in this can, a good whole milk. Milk which has been concentrated to more than double richness simply by having just the water removed. Carnation Evaporated Milk, the milk from contented cows. And we... Oh, curtain going up on George and Gracie.
Hey, Gracie, I'm tired. Let's not go shopping anymore. Let's go home.
All right, I'm kind of tired myself. Driver, never mind the May Company. Just take us home instead.
Oh, Gracie, I think this is yours.
Oh, yes, this is something I got George. You know, he says he will not wear suspenders in hot weather. So, this is what I got him.
That's what you got him? Polka dot shorts?
Yes, if his pants are going to fall down, I want him to look good.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you didn't tell me where you wanted to go.
Yes, I did. I said take us home. Anyway, these shorts...
But where do you live? I gotta have your address.
You know, he's kind of fresh. Next thing, he'll be asking for our phone number.
No, Gracie, he's got to know.
Oh?
Driver, 312 Maple Drive.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, dear, you're not...
Oh! Oh! My goodness, how did he ever miss that trick?
Mm-hmm. Must be a new man.
Gracie, why do you want it open?
Well, if it's closed, he might talk about it.
Yeah, he might.
Oh, dear. I'm glad we're not going to shop anymore. I certainly am. Aren't you?
You know something? You got George shorts. I think I'm going to get Harry
Oh,
something.
get Harry some. We're the polka dot ones. He'll love them.
I'm going to get him a new brain. Throwing away $500. Gracie, do you know what he did?
What?
He met the producer of a musical comedy. There were really 2 of them. And he gave them $500.
Really?
Yes, and he knows nothing about show business. Now, if he had taken George's advice, that's something else again, because George knows show business.
Well, he certainly does. He knows more about show business than Ziegfeld.
Really?
Sure, he doesn't know anything about Ziegfeld.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's not too late. I'd like George to meet these 2 producers of this show, because George will know whether it's good or bad.
Oh, he certainly will.
Excuse me, ma'am, but what's the best way to get to Maple Drive?
Just follow us. That's where we're going.
You know, if Harry Morton were smart, he would stick to his real estate business instead of buying a piece of a show. Everybody thinks he could make more money in the other fellow's business. The actor wants to raise chickens, the farmer wants to be a baker, and the baker wants to be a butcher. The butcher wants to stay open 7 days a week. Of course, it always isn't the money. I knew a chiropodist who was getting $10 a visit working on feet, but he wasn't happy. Became a barber at $1 a head. wanted to see what was going on at the other end. Now, take me. I'm a straight man, and I love what I'm doing, and I can't understand anybody wanting to change jobs. Now, there's a fellow I knew very well. His name was Fred Langdon. He was with a circus. He did a lion act. It was just sensational. 3 performances a day, he would stick his head into the lion's mouth. Now, why would a fellow like that want to change jobs? But he did. He became a house-to-house salesman. Quit after the first day, afraid somebody would close the door on his foot. And then there was the great Ronaldo. He was with Ringling Brothers for years. You remember him. They used to shoot him out of a cannon. He quit, too. Felt he wasn't going anywhere. You know, Blanche Morton is smart to send those producers over to talk to me because show business, that's my racket. Harry Morton doesn't know this. But last season, they produced 5 shows out here. 4 were flops. I know what I'm talking about. I had money in all 4 of them. So as Benjamin Franklin said, the grass always looks greener in the other fellow's yard. I don't know why I'm repeating that. He didn't get a laugh with it either. Oh, Gracie's got company. I'm going over to talk to Harry Morton and give him a little advice.
Nice piano, buddy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good tone,
Oh,
probably.
yes?
Oh, hello. Mrs. Morton asked us to drop over to talk to Mr. Burns about our musical show.
Oh, yes, I'll call him.
Good.
George!
Just tell him Mr. Fisher and Mr. Pepper are calling.
Oh, he'd never believe me. He knows my voice. Well, I was just about to make some coffee. Would you like some?
Oh, yes,
Sounds like
thanks.
a good
It'd be very
idea.
All
nice.
right. Oh, my goodness. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Mrs. Burns.
Well, how do you do, Mrs. Burns? I'm Buddy Pepper.
Oh, how do you do? And what's your name?
I'm Dick Fisher.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, so you're the 2 men who wrote that musical show.
That's
Yes,
right.
ma'am. We collaborated.
Oh, well, cheer up. Maybe your next one will be better.
Is she for real? I thought she was only that way on the television show.
Maybe she got kicked by a butterfly.
You know, buddy, I knew a musician like her once. He even looked like her. This cat was so gone. He called his girl on the telephone and then played her a trombone solo.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing much. He was just in a phone booth, knocked his front teeth out. That's... Play the ballad. Mr. Pepper is quite a musician.
Oh, what instrument does he play?
Piano?
Oh?
Let's get out of here.
Wait a minute. We came to see George Burns.
Yeah, but she called him and he didn't answer.
Would you if you were her husband? Why, don't tell me, bud.
Oh, my, that's pretty. What is it?
That's one of the tunes from our show. It's called Don't Tell Me. I hope Mr. Burns likes it.
Oh, yes, it's too bad you didn't bring the orchestra. It would have sounded even better.
Oh, we'd like to, Miss Burns, but musicians come pretty high.
Oh, you're so right, and usually they're not so sober when they leave either.
Let's get out of here.
Wait a minute, buddy. I just got a flash. Look, we're looking for a pigeon to put up the rest of the money for our show, right?
Yeah.
She just flew out.
Okay, Dick, but if you think that she's going to give us the...
Now, don't let me interrupt you. Keep right on talking.
No, we were just talking about you, Miss Burns. I was just saying, buddy, maybe you know somebody who'd like to put some money into our musical.
Oh, how about me?
You? Great. You like music?
Oh, sure. You know, I know a lot about music. My brother was a wonderful musician.
Oh, he was?
Yes, he used to play the trombone until his front teeth were knocked out.
Miss Burns, all the tunes from the show are just wonderful. I'd like you to hear them later. Why don't you invest $5,000?
I'd love to.
Wonderful.
Well, of course, you'd have to get it from my husband. See, he handles all the money.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, oh, but he'll love the show. He's crazy about music. He's a wonderful singer, you know.
Has he been singing live?
Yes, oh, yes. When he started in show business, he was in vaudeville, and he and 4 other fellas had a quartet, and it was really very
Five in a quartet?
good. Well, Jimmy, the blue-eyed one, didn't sing. He drove the getaway car.
Getaway car.
He loves to sing.
Oh, he really does, and especially Ain't Misbehavin'. Now, if you were ever at a party with George and you played Ain't Misbehavin' in his key, he'd give you half his life.
Oh, he would, huh?
Yes.
He would.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Burns, it'd be nice if we could see Mr. Burns. You think you could arrange that?
Oh, I think so. I'll go find him
You're
for
very
you.
kind.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Buddy, I got a great idea. When Burns comes in, I give you the nod. You're sitting at the piano. You start vamping Ain't Misbehavin' with plenty of rhythm in the left hand.
Yeah.
I'll do the talking. You got the
Okay,
idea?
I got it, yeah.
Left. When he gets in, we'll... Oh. Hello, Mr. Burns. We're Fisher and Pepper.
Yeah, I've worn your suits for years. Look, Fisher and Pepper, you ought to be ashamed of yourself selling a real estate man a piece of your show. He knows nothing about show business. Must be a flop show to pick a sucker like that. If the show was any good, you'd go to Georgie Jessel or Bob Hope or Jack Benny. Play a lot of piano, kid.
Thanks.
Sounds like the vamp ain't misbehaving.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we use it in the show sort of as a theme.
No?
Use it about 8 times.
8 times. Ain't misbehaving all by myself. Ain't misbehaving, baby. I'm happy on the show.
We're looking for sort of a Crosby type to play the
Oh,
lead.
baby, love you, really saving love of you. I know 8 times.
8 times, yeah. Mr. Burns, why don't you play the lead?
How much money do you need for this show?
$5,000?
And I sing Ain't Misbehaving 8 times?
8 times.
Take out the check. Jackie Horner in the corner. Don't go nowhere. And I don't care. All your kisses are worth waiting for, baby. Doodle-a-doodle-dee-dee. Don't stay out late and I don't care to go. Home about 8, me on the radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for. Wump doodle-a-doodle-dee-dee-dee. Da doodle-a-doodle-dee-dee-doo. La-doodle-a-doodle-a-doodle-a-doodle-a-doodle-a-doodle-a. That's funny. Got so carried away with my singing, I forgot to say goodbye to my 2 producers. Think I'll have some taps put on my shoes in case somebody in the thinner hollers dance. I'll be ready. Yeah, and I'll have them put some songs in the show. Some songs I made famous. Like Tiger Girl, In the Heart of a Cherry.
George? Your lunch is ready, George.
Excuse me. Where was I? Oh, yeah. In the Heart of a Cherry, and that never-to-be-forgotten song that I made famous, I'm tying the leaves so they won't fall down. I'm tying the leaves so they won't fall down. I'd rather sing than eat. Hey, I take that back. These are delicious. These are the tuna puffs Gracie made with carnation. While I'm eating, I'll have Harry Von Zell tell you about it.
Well, I'll be very glad to, George. I think most of you homemakers like Gracie are interested in trying any new dish you think your husbands will appreciate, and carnation tuna puffs practically guarantee that. So we've made the recipe available to you folks in 2 ways, in the June 30th issue of Life magazine, and with these free little recipe leaflets, which you'll find at your grocer's. Just look for the display of tuna and carnation evaporated milk. Now, as fancy as this dish is, carnation tuna puffs are really very simple to make. All you need is tuna, parsley, some lemon juice, breadcrumbs, and very important, a large can of evaporated milk. Now, you must have carnation evaporated milk because this new way to fix tuna is one of those cooking miracles not possible with any other kind of milk. Just listen to them sizzle. In just a few minutes, they'll be done to a rich golden brown thanks to carnation. And they'll taste just as good as they look, too. You see, carnation's heat refining and double richness does things to the flavor that no other milk can do. How about that? Isn't that a dish that would make George rather eat than sing? You bet your life. These are carnation tuna puffs, a new way to fix tuna that is good right down to the last flake of crispy crust. And the cost? 15 cents a serving. Now, you folks remember, when you go to your store, to look for this display that says New Way to Fix Tuna. Get yourself a can of tuna, a large can of Carnation evaporated milk, take home the free recipe leaflet and use it. You'll save money and you'll have a delicious new dish to serve your family. Carnation Tuna Puffs.
Gracie!
I'll be right up, Gwen. Hey,
Gracie, what's wrong?
nothing. In our television show, I'm supposed to wear a hobble skirt. You know, those tight skirts like they wore in 1900. So I have to practice taking short steps.
Oh. Well, did George get our $500 back?
No, he put $5,000 in it himself.
He did?
Mhm.
Well, then it must be pretty good. Although it is a gamble.
Oh, it sure is. You know, a friend of ours put some money in a show, and 6 months later he had $60,000.
Say, that's a lot of money.
No, it isn't so much. You see, before he invested the money in the show, he had $200,000.
Oh. Well, if George is willing to risk your hard-earned money, it can't be so bad. Maybe my husband isn't as stupid as he looks.
No, he certainly isn't. Hiya, Harry.
Harry? Harry? Oh. Hello, Harry.
Matter of fact, you're right. I am stupid. I just got a phone call from Von Zell giving me some bad news about the show.
Bonzel?
Yeah. I talked him into putting some money in the show, too.
Well, what's the bad news?
Well, he says the producers have hired a singer for the lead who couldn't carry a tune if it was strapped on his back.
Well, who is he?
Producers won't say. They're afraid of the bad publicity.
Oh, dear, this is awful. I'll have to find George. You know, he invested $5,000 in it.
5,000?
Yes.
Well, he can kiss that goodbye.
Oh, sure. Hey, that's a wonderful idea. When they come to give him the money to kiss it, he can grab it and run.
Oh, she's rehearsing their television show. She has to wear a tight dress, and it's kind of hard to walk.
Somebody ought to loosen her hat, too.
I wouldn't talk if I were you, genius. Throwing $500 down the drain.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm reading this contract I signed. I'm trying to find a loophole.
Some businessman. The next time you want to throw some money to the dogs, give it to me.
Okay, Fido.
What was that?
I'm reading the contract, Blanche.
Yeah, you should have read it before you threw our money away. When I asked you for $100 to have my kid brother's teeth straightened, you turned me down.
If your kid brother would learn to open beer bottles like everybody else, he would...
Oh, hello, Mr.
Hi, Harry.
Hi.
What'd you find out about the singer, eh?
Nothing. They won't tell. I went right to the producers and asked them. I said, who is this singer and what does he sound like?
What'd they say?
Nothing. They just sat there and cried.
I don't think we've got anything to cry about. They're not going to hire anybody as bad as all that.
Well, maybe not. But let me ask you something. Have you ever heard of a tune called I'm Tying the Leaves So They Won't Fall Down?
I haven't, and it sounds dreadful.
Well, maybe it's a new song. I'm tying the leaves.
No, Harry, I don't think it can be a new song. It said on the orchestration, the favorite ballad of Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders. With special arrangement for comb and tissue paper.
Look, I'm still sure that Fisher and Pepper wouldn't hire a singer that couldn't handle it. Now, I don't think we've got anything to cry about.
Oh, hello, everybody.
Oh, hi, George. We want to talk to you.
Not now, I'm busy. I just had some taps put on my shoes. Listen to this. Pa, pa, ti, da, 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 da. I'm tying the leaves so they won't fall down.
Oh, no.
Just got this old hat and cane out of the trunk. Getting ready for the show. Just heard some wonderful news. Producers think they're going to make a lot of money in the show. Understand they've already booked passage for South America. Can't wait to get my teeth into some of these numbers. Listen to this. Oh, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Audience. It is now my time to perform, and I present... Oh, my God, I haven't told Gracie that I'm singing the lead. Excuse me. Gracie, in here.
Oh, George, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, how do you like the script?
Oh, I like it very much.
Want a good script?
You know, they certainly wore funny clothes in those days.
Oh, did you practice the hobble skate?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, those clothes were
Yeah.
funny.
What are you going to wear?
Well, a gray derby, checkered vest, and high-button shoes.
Well, they better be awfully high if that's all you're going to wear.
Well, I'm having some made with arm holes.
George, sit down. I heard some news that I want to tell you all about it.
Good.
From the Mortons.
Oh, and I've got some news for you.
Oh.
My dog has fleas.
Oh, that's beautiful. Did you write that?
No, that was written by a veterinarian.
Oh. Well, I'm glad to see a next serviceman make good.
Yeah, I am too.
George,
What?
you better tell me your news first because mine isn't so good.
Well, mine is great, so let's get the bad news over with first.
All right. Well, now look,
What?
you've got to get your money out of this musical show immediately
Why?
because that's what the Mortons and Harry Von Zell is trying to do.
Why?
Well, because those two idiotic producers have signed the worst singer in the whole world to sing the lead.
Where'd you hear that?
Everybody's talking about it.
You mean they all think that this singer is bad?
Oh, he's horrible. Now, what's your good news?
I don't feel well.
Well, George, if you call that good news, you're certainly easy to please.
No, that's not it, but this singer that everybody thinks is so horrible. It's me.
What?
Yeah. Well, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm getting too old to sing.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Good things improve with age. Why, your voice is like a rare old wine. It's like a ripe old cheese.
Well, thanks for the compliment, but I'm going to call Fisher and Pepper and tell them I'm quitting the show.
Oh, no, you
Oh,
can't
yes.
do that. Look, would Washington have quit if somebody said he wasn't a good singer? No. Would Lincoln? No. Would Napoleon? No.
But nobody ever thought they could sing.
Well, nobody thinks you can sing either, so why quit? Oh, hello, everybody.
Oh, hello, Grace. George, I've been selected as the spokesman for this group by my fellow victims. No, I don't mean... not
I know
victims.
what's coming, and I don't want to hear it. So you people don't think I can sing, huh? You, an announcer, a real estate man, his wife, and a couple of broken-down producers. Some bunch of critics. You think I care what you think about my voice?
Oh, shame on you. Look what you did to George. He may never sing again as long as he lives.
Well, Grace,
We only came over to tell George that the show isn't going on.
Well, we're going to get all our money back.
Sure, Miss Burns. Here's your husband's check for $5,000.
You mean you're calling off the show because of George's singing?
No. Gracie, we love his singing.
Oh, well, then I want you to tell him that. It will cheer him up. Harry, will you go get him?
I'll get it.
George. Imagine Gracie thinking we'd call off the show because of George's singing.
Well, then why?
Why?
Miss Burns, sit down for a second. I think I can explain this to you. See, Mr. Pepper and I are calling off the show because with your husband in the lead, we're afraid that the show will be such a big hit and will make so much money that we won't be able to pay the taxes. So we're going back to driving cabs.
Well, that makes sense.
Harry tells me that you don't think my voice is bad.
Oh,
Talking about.
Well, why the sudden switch?
Switch. There just is no switch. We've always liked your voice.
Sure. You don't think we're calling off the show on account of that? Are we?
No!
This is sure a load off my mind. And to show my appreciation, Mr. Pepper, would you sit down at the piano?
I'm not tired.
Now, I want to sing a few songs for my friends.
You going to sing? Just a minute. I'd like to review the bidding.
Look, Mr. Pepper, right there, please. I'm only going to do about 6 songs because I'm going to a sociable Sunday night. I want to save my throat. About... All the birds are sweetly singing, and perfume flowers are bringing, and the wind is blowing as it's passing by.
Oh, he's got a voice. Very,
Very nice.
all down here. Right
Very
in the
fine.
throat here.
Good voice.
The birds are sweetly singing, and perfume flowers are bringing, and the wind is
It's very
blowing.
rare that you hear a voice like
I
that.
haven't, you know, he's still a
Great.
I like that.
I've never heard a voice so here. That quality.
The birds...
Boya.
The birds are... Okay.
Well, he's probably going for an atomizer to spray his throat.
Well, we can't
we
do
have
anything.
to
We're
go.
late
Oh,
now.
don't.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Okay, come back here, everybody. Back up there where you were. Come on, back with those Pepper at the piano. Come on, over there. Sit down. Sit down! Let's have it. The birds are sweetly singing and perfume flowers are bringing and the wind is blowing as it's passing by. It brings me back to days. Unichild's ways. Girl. Bashful. Shy. And when the boy I left home, this country wide to roam, but absence makes the heart go fonder.
Well, George and Gracie will be back in just a moment, but Gracie's sister Bessie wanted me to see this. I think you should see it, too. This is the Allen family album, and right here on this page is a picture of Gracie herself, age 18 months. How about those eyes and those cheeks? She was a small baby, but a very healthy one, as you can see. Well, Bessie told me that the doctor put Gracie on carnation evaporated milk right from the very first. You see, doctors know what a wonderful milk carnation is for getting youngsters off to a good start. Just think of it, millions and millions of babies, over 3 generations of them, including the famous Dion quintuplets, all cut their teeth on carnation. So with a record like that, is it any wonder today that 8 out of 10 mothers who use carnation say their doctor recommended it? Carnation is the milk every doctor knows. And now here's Carnation's own contented couple, George and Gracie.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. Come on, Gracie. Been married for a lot of years. Gracie and I will be back again 2 weeks from tonight. And Gracie, that was a cute picture of you as a baby.
Oh, did you like it? You know, I was the youngest in the family.
I know there were 5 of you.
No, there's only one of me. The others were brothers and
And
sisters.
sisters. Say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Appearing on tonight's show were Hal March and Buddy Pepper as the producers and Lee Millard as the taxi driver. Gracie Allen's gowns were by Marjorie Michael. This is Harry Bonzell saying good night for Carnation. This is the CBS Television Network. The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show, presented by Carnation Evaporated Milk. everybody. Our curtain's going up on George and Gracie in just a moment, but we have time here, and I'd like to show you some more home movies that George and Gracie and I took. We took them last weekend when we visited one of the world-famous Carnation milk farms. Boy, what wonderful dairy country that is up in Washington. Here on your screen, you'll get an idea. These are some of the famous Carnation-contented cows. Not a worry in sight here. This is where Carnation carries on its great work of developing better and better dairy herds. And with wonderful results, as you'll see here in just... Here, this is Carnation Homestead Daisy Madcap, world's champion producer of butterfat. Just think of it, Daisy here produced in 1 year more butterfat than 7 average cows. Enough butterfat to make over 1,700 pounds of table butter. So she's a real champion. Now, here's another blue ribbon winner. This is Carnation Tip Top. We had a little trouble coaxing George in for this close shot. Tip Top is the yearling bull that won first prize at Portland, Oregon at the Pacific International Exposition. And he really is a beauty, isn't he? Of course, these are just 2 examples of many prize-winning Carnation cattle. Finer herds and new champions are being developed right along as part of Carnation's dairy progress. Well, all in all, it was a wonderful trip, but the thing that impressed us most of all was the fact that all this splendid work going on at the Carnation farms is directed toward what you get right in this can, a good whole milk. Milk which has been concentrated to more than double richness simply by having just the water removed. Carnation evaporated milk, the milk from contented cows. And we... Oh, curtain going up on George and Gracie.
Hey, Gracie, I'm tired. Let's not go shopping anymore. Let's go home.
All right, I'm kind of tired myself. Driver, never mind the May Company. Just take us home instead.
Oh, Gracie, I think this is yours.
Oh, yes, this is something I got George. You know, he says he will not wear suspenders in hot weather. So, this is what I got him.
That's what you got him? Polka dot shorts?
Yes, if his pants are going to fall down, I want him to look good.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you didn't tell me where you wanted to go.
Yes, I did. I said take us home. Anyway, these shorts...
But
they
where
were-
do you live? I gotta have your address.
You know, he's kind of fresh. Next thing, he'll be asking for our phone number.